Shalom. This is Truth is Everlasting Lion's Den. I am Yahweh Sap. I camp out where Lion's Den, Hawan Ben Yashua in Jacksonville, Florida. But first, I would like to give a prayer to the Father, to the Son, to the elders, to the archons, and to the women and children. Kal Halayim La, Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Bahashem Ha Rogak Rodash, Mahamath, in the name of Yahweh Shai, in spirit and holy and truth. Double honors to the 144,000 chosen elect. Double honors to the elders of GMS. Double honors to my elder Hawam. Salutation to the archons who are on the four corners of the earth. And to the women and children, Shalom. Okay, well, since they're tamping around again with the Fourth Amendment, which really belongs mostly to the Edomites anyway, right? But what it says here, what Edwin Snowden just warned about the Fourth Amendment. Let me put a little bit of it. The title of this lesson is called, "They Shall Deliver You Up to Be Afflicted." Here we go.
Fourth Amendment of the United States Constitution is quickly becoming a thing of the past. NSA whistleblower Edward Snowden warning all of us of the illegal searches and seizures that the FBI and other government agencies are carrying out with the help of Congress, giving them cover to do this, giving them the power to carry out warrantless wiretaps on Americans. And it's all built in to the brand new Defense Authorization Act, the big defense spending bill, the $866 billion defense spending bill that President Biden just signed into law.
President Joe Biden will sign the newly passed National Defense Authorization Act into law. The $886 billion plan will include a more than 5% pay raise for members of the military. The bill also includes a short-term extension of a controversial law that permits warrantless surveillance of foreign nationals.
Kyle Seraphin is a FBI whistleblower and a true American patriot. He's been screaming from the mountaintops about how corrupt the FBI is, how they're carrying out illegal surveillance on Americans using the FISA program, illegal warrants, to rope Americans into illegal custody. It's unbelievable, and we wanted to invite Kyle on to talk about this. Kyle, good to see you again. Welcome back to the show.
Thanks, Clayton. Good to be on. Good to talk to you.
So your response here, of course, Edward Snowden has been beating the hammer on this. You've been out there as a whistleblower on your show, really pushing this for many, many months on the illegal sides of this. And then, of course, this just passes right inside of the National Defense Authorization Act. President Biden signs it, and here we go. Congress is complicit. The president is complicit. What was your initial response to seeing them just go along with this again?
It's kind of nauseating, but it's also kind of expected. I do think that this is the nature of the federal government. This is what I've seen. I was 5 years in D.C. working for the Washington field office for the FBI. And what we would always see was there was some moment, it would come to the crisis, it would come to the crux of the problem, and then they would basically do the thing that the federal government's best at, which is kick it down the line. They would do a temporary spending measure. They would do a continuing resolution. They would pass it as part of an omnibus, and then it would just sort of disappear. And there's not really a great mechanism for the American people to do anything about it, because once it's passed, it's passed. They put it in there. They've kicked the can down for another couple of months, and we're going to have more sort of unlimited FISA capabilities that the FBI has been advocating for. It's really worthwhile dissecting the FBI's arguments on behalf of the FISA and why it's so valuable to them. And when you break it down and look at it, you go, that doesn't seem like what it's intended for. I just watched my buddy George Hill, who is a former NSA guy, Snowden era time, and was also an FBI supervisor in the intelligence sphere. And he worked as an analyst. And so he was talking to me about it on my podcast. I actually sent him a link to John Cornyn and the Assistant Attorney General, Matthew Olson, talking about FISA and specifically 702 FISA. And they're breaking it down like children, because that's kind of how they treat the American people. It's like this, well, when they say foreign intelligence surveillance, they do mean foreign, right? And he goes, yes, they mean foreign. And so he's keying up these things. And when I sent it to George, he said, that's the second time that I've seen gay pornography in the Senate, this month, because it's just two men with their clothes on doing something that is really gross to watch. They've pre-planned this thing. It's scripted. It looks a lot like what he called KFAB, or, like kind of WWE wrestling. It's planned out who's going to win and what the questions are going to look like. It looks very choreographed. Most Americans have no idea what 702 FISA looks like. They don't know what FISA means to begin with. And so we can kind of break that down.
Yeah, let's break that down. And this, of course, was born, I think, if I'm not mistaken, out of the Patriot Act after 9/11, right? This foreign surveillance, the idea we're going to watch terrorists overseas. If they're going to attack us, we want to know about them, right? So we can use this sort of blanket approach under the Patriot Act. Can you walk us through exactly what this mechanism does?
Absolutely. And that is obviously where it went wrong, but it actually goes back further than that. If my recollection serves, it's 1978, it might be 1974. The FISA actually goes back to the end of the Cold War. And something that I discussed with George Longform, and people can find kind of shorts of it. We've been trying to cut it up so people understand. But it's really pretty obvious that we made it through the entirety of the Cold War without FISA. FISA is the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act. It allows organizations like the FBI and the CIA and the NSA, mostly it's NSA collections, to be able to gather what we would call signals intelligence. That's going to be text messages and phone calls and emails now and stuff. Well, obviously, a lot of this didn't exist back when it was written. And it allows them to pull it into a collection data warehouse where they can exploit it in certain ways to protect national security, which on its face doesn't sound that bad. In the post 9/11 world, when so many things were weaponized, they actually expanded it out to include terrorists. So it went from nation state actors like the Soviet Union and maybe China and things like that, to now adding on foreign terrorist organizations as designated by the State Department. And once you open that kind of can of worms up, it kind of gave them the ability, it's not just foreign actors doing intelligence. Now the intelligence is actually operational because terrorism is a crime. It usually involves violence and coercion and things like that. So once they started bringing that sort of ability in, the most recent arguments for FISA were all about how it's helping disrupt what they would call transnational organized crime. This is like mafia type stuff. These are organized cartels that are bringing fentanyl over the border. And when you're telling me that a tool that is designed for intelligence and doesn't have the same scrutiny as a traditional warrant when it comes to doing collections is being used to do criminal casing against cartels and other foreign actors that are doing criminal violations in the U.S., we've really gotten very far afield from it. And what people should also know is that this all was incremental. It started after 9/11 where they started moving it forward. They added terrorism to it. And then what we saw was kind of this aggressive movement by allowing Barack Obama walking on the last couple days out the door, saying that they wanted to put these things in place where they wanted to be able to, use it more as a political tool. And as I've talked to you a little bit, it's worth knowing, intelligence cases, which is what we're talking about with FISA, they don't have the same scrutiny as criminal cases. They're not the same thing.
So when someone uses a traditional warrant, maybe it's helpful for our audience and for me to break it down. So a traditional warrant versus how these FISA warrants are being utilized. Like what would happen in a traditional warrant situation versus this?
So traditionally, you need probable cause. You go in front of a judge and you say, here's my pattern of facts. I, as this person, swear on my training and my ability that I've...
Bam, there it goes. In other words, they have to take an oath that they're being sincerely and truth. But they don't want to be taking oaths no more, right? They just want to cut corners. And when they want to go after someone or anyone, to be honest, especially the so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, and speckled birds, it's easier, it's quicker, right? I guess another word that I heard before one time, a kangaroo court, right? Where they just kidnap you, right? Secretly and take you to wherever they're going to take you. But let's go back to when it was 1972, 1973, when Nixon was wiretapping, right? He broke the law there, right? And there was two choices he had. He committed treason, or he has to pick impeachment, right? So you can see that we are closer and closer now to see how the scripture is making it loud and clear that many will be some of us will be delivered, right, into the hands of the wicked. I want to go to Matthew chapter 24, verse 9. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and ye shall be hated. Oops, I gotta hit this again. Of all nations for my name's sake. You see, doing the work of Yahweh Shin Yahushai, He's preparing us for the affliction, and He's making us stronger for the suffering that we're gonna about to go. We're going through some suffering now, but what Jacob trouble hits to the biggest level that's going to hit, that's going to be some serious, major suffering. And Yahweh is preparing us. At the same time, He's going to see who's going to endure, right? Who's going to endure to the end and stand firm in the name of Yahweh Shin Yahushai. Because if you're not going to stand firm unto death, then you will not be one of those 144,000 chosen elect, or 1/3, okay? So that's the big test that's going to be coming. Excuse me, I got to blow my nose. Slakia, okay? I want to go to 2 Timothy chapter 3. Let me go turn my pages here. Give me a minute. Turning my pages here. Okay, getting there. I'm getting there. Usually I use my laptop, but so let me use the Bible. 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 12. Yea, and all that will live godly in Yahweh Shai shall suffer persecution. Yeah. Okay. This is the walk. This is the facts of life. When you are called to do the work of Yahweh Shin Yahweh Shai, when we go into the highways and byways as a living sacrifice, that day we might go out, and that day we might not come back in. Okay? Or right now, me doing the lesson at home. They can come and kick the door open, grab me, and, bye-bye. Verse 13. But evil men and seducers shall wax worse and worse, deceiving and being deceived. That's right. Just like 2/3 of our people who are being deceived, and they love it. They love the deception. They love that they love this world, right? They want to make it great again. They want to be participants with the Edomites making America great again. When that's not going to happen, every day is getting worse and worse. Verse 13? No, Sraka, verse 14. But continue thou in the things which thou hast learned and hast been assured of, knowing of whom thou, oops, I gotta hit that Sraka, hast learned them, right? And how you be assured? Well, that's where the studying comes in. Okay? That's where prayer in the name of Yahweh Shin Yahushua comes in. That's where faith and work comes in. Okay? Because you cannot do this by your own. Jacob's trouble, when it hits in the highest level that's going to hit, your own will not be able to deal with it. Right? I mean, when people are suffering with pain, a lot of them want to run and, get something to ease the pain. Because it hurts. It's too much of a pain, right? So, it's only through the name of Yahweh Shin Yahweh Shai, okay? If you wholeheartedly to that name, okay, that you be able to endure. Yahweh Shai went through some serious pain. Okay, he shed his innocent blood in order for us to have this opportunity. So if he went through it, okay, who did not sin, well, we have to go through it. Okay, those are the facts. I want to go to 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 3. Thou therefore, in doing hardness as a good soldier of Yahweh Shai. There you go. Being a soldier, right? Which we are, okay, but we're not carrying weapons and building military. No, we just carry the scripture in the name of Yahweh Bashin Yahweh Shai. Okay? Verse 4, no man that wars entangle himself with the affairs of this life. Give me, I gotta hit this again. That he may please him who has chosen him to be a soldier. That's right. We don't put too much energy in building communities in this wicked world. We don't put too much energy in chasing the bag to the point where that's the only important thing. Okay? Because that's what the Edomites are going to be pushing for all of us to do. The dollar's getting weaker by the day, so everybody has to be what? Putting more hours just to make that extra dollar, right? Why do you think they're going to want to bring in the digital currency, right? Because they're going to have more and total control. That's what they really, are looking forward to. I want to go to John chapter 15. Give me a minute. John chapter 15. Verse 18. If the world hates you, ye know that it hated me before it hated you. That's right. That's how we're going to know we're on the right track, by the way. Okay? Because eventually the Edomites are getting fed up that we are reading the scripture in the name of Yahweh Shin Yahweh Shai, and that it has caught the ears of the people around the world. Okay? People know that are woke, know the truth of who the Edomites are, and they can see now that they are the wicked. Verse 19, if ye were of the world would love his own. But because ye are not of the world, I have chosen you out of the world. Therefore, the world hates you. You see? That's how simple it is. Wickedness does not like or love the light, the truth, because it reveals too much of who they are. Verse 20, remember the word that I said unto you, the servant is not greater than Yahweh Shai. If they have prosecuted me, they will also prosecute you. If they have kept my saying, they will have kept yours also. Yeah, but they're not going to do that, okay? Because now that they have the technology that was given to them by Yahweh Shin Yahweh Shai, right, the blessing of the sword, they are really, really confident, right, that they can win this battle when Yahweh Shai comes back. The only thing they need to do, right, is when the second shutdown comes in, okay, They have to mandate the MOTV. They have to put in everyone the mark of the beast. So they can go fight Yahweh Shai, while the ones in power can go underground and hide. Okay? You see how that goes? Because they're going to turn loose the AI to control everyone. They want to turn everyone into cyborgs, right? Energy batteries, okay? So they can use you as a battery to charge their technology. Verse 21. But all these things will they do unto you for my name's sake, because they know not him that sent me. Yeah, they don't want to know the truth. They don't want to know him, but they will. When Yahweh sends his son back, Yahweh Shah, with the host of angels, in those so-called UFOs, Scripture calls them chariots or clouds. The whole world is going to see him. And they're going to see true power and true fear. Okay? And no Edomite is going to be able to hide, not under the earth, not in the ocean, not in the sky. Okay? They're not going to be able to escape their punishment. John chapter 16, verse 33. These things I have spoken unto you, that in me ye might have peace in the world. Ye shall have tribulation, but be of good cheer. I have overcome the world. See, we got to follow his footsteps, right? Yahweh gave him the strength. I mean, to be abused, beaten the way he was, the way they did it to him, right? That was real ugly, man. Okay? Inhumane. So, again, I got to say it. He did not sin, but he came to save his people, the so-called Negros Latinos, Native Americans, and speckled birds. So, if he obeyed Yahweh and did it for the love for his people, we too have to do it for Yahweh, Bashin Yahweh Shah, and show how much love and fear we have. That if it comes that they want to, want to take our life out, well then, if that's what Yahweh and Yahweh Shah want it to be, that's what it's going to be. Okay? When I look at the word afflicted, it came out over here of a problem or illness, cause pain or suffering to, affect or trouble, right? And you see when a lot of people are ill, right? Instead of running to Yahweh Shai, they run the opposite. They run to the Egyptians to take what they got, right? Well, the big test is around the corner. I can only hope and pray in the name of Yahweh Shai that he gives me the strength, the courage, and the balls, right? As they say in Spanish, the cojones, to endure to the end. Matthew chapter 5. Give me a minute. I'm coming off the coast, so I'm getting better. Chapter 5. Here we go. Verse 10. Blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for there is the kingdom of heaven. Woo! See? That's a contract right there. Because that's going to bring the kingdom of heaven back to earth and remove this wicked kingdom out of the earth forever. Okay? Verse 11. Blessed are ye when men shall revile you and prosecute you and shall say all manners of evil against you. You see? They're going to lie and lie falsely for my sake. And we're getting close to that. Verse 12. Rejoice and be exceeding glad. Exceeding glad. Slakia. For great is your reward. Woo! We get a reward in heaven. For so prosecuted they the prophet which were before you. Yeah. History repeats itself. Right? It's like boxing, you know. When you get hit and you get knocked down, you got to get that strength and get back up. Right? So, this is going to be the final boxing fight. Okay? The final big fight. Verse 13. Ye are the salt of the earth. That's right. But if the salt hath lost his flavor, wherewith shall it be salted? It is then forth good for nothing, but be cast out, and to be trodden under foot of men. Yeah. That's a Yahweh Shin Yahshai is giving the final big test to all so-called Negros Latinos, Americans, and speckled birds who are doing his work. Who's going to stand to the end? Who's going to keep suffering, right, to the end? And hold on to his name, his son's name, Yahweh Shai. 14. Ye are the light of the world. A city that is set on an hill cannot be hid. 15. Neither do men light a candle and put it under a bushel, but on a candlestick, and is given light unto all that are in the house. Verse 16. Let your light so shine before men, that they may see your good works, and glorify your Father which is in heaven. Woo! Verse 17. It's getting good here, huh? Oh, Slakia. No, 16, yeah. I want to go to Mark chapter 5. Is it chapter 5? Give me a minute. Chapter 10. Slakia. Doing this. Chapter 10, verse 29. Will be here. And Yahweh answered and said, Verily I say unto you, there is no man that has left house or brethren or sister or father or mother or wife or, give me a minute, or children or land for my sake and the gospel. Huh? He's making it clear. Hey, you're going to be everything that you got, you're going to lose. Okay? Especially living in this wicked world. Because we never had it to begin with. I mean, just because you have a house or you have land, it's not really ours because you're still paying taxes. How can something be yours when you have to pay taxes? Right? And it's crazy because if you are a king of a land, you're going to charge taxes to your children? That's crazy, right? Something to think about. Verse 30. But he shall receive and hundredfold now in this time, house, brother, sister, mother, children's land, with prosecution. Okay? And in the world to come, eternal life. Yeah. I mean, it's not easy when you're working so hard, right, for your family that you want to have something so you can pass on to them, but they keep stealing from you in every direction, right? So those who had land and home, I used to have a house, I used to have land, okay? I had to let it go, right? Because they make it so hard for you to own it, okay? It's crazy. They want to keep making rules and regulations. Imagine, what's his name? Noah, right? When God told him to build the ark. If he would have tried to do it in this era, you know how many permits he has to get, right? And they're going to tell him yes and no. We want you to do it this way, not God's way. Verse 31. But many that are first shall be last, and the last first. Yeah. Those who die and in the name of Yahweh Shin Yahweh Shai and stand firm to the name will be first to be raised, taken up, and given the new spiritual Superman body. Right? If it's a woman, it's a spiritual superwoman body. It's going to be beautiful. Revelation chapter 2. Give me a minute. Gotta go all the way over here. Chapter 2, verse 10. Fear none of those things which, gotta hit that again, thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulations 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death. Woo! You know, when you hear the word devil, adversary, okay? And I will give thee a crown of life. There you go. Right? Hold on. Lean on the name of Yahweh Shin Yahweh Shai. Okay? I mean, who wants to keep living in this wicked world, right? With all the things that you have seen and the things that they're doing and what they're about to want to do. To turn everyone into a cyborg. Nah, man. They can stick whatever they want to put on their own butts. Verse 11. He that has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit says unto the churches. He that overcomes shall not be hurt of the second death. Got to remember that also, right? Because if you cave in because of the pain that, the suffering that we are going to go through, right, and not pass that test, then you will have to go through the second death, which is through fire to cleanse you. Okay? Second Corinthians. Give me a minute where I go. 2 Corinthians. I know I have it somewhere. Galatians. 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 9. For we are glad when we are weak, and ye are strong. Yeah, that is so true. And this also we wish, even your perfection. Yeah, because when you are weak, right, that's when we need him the most. And that's when he comes and give us strength. Right? I mean, remember when the story of Moses, when he was kicked out of the city, and he was in the desert? After a while, he couldn't walk no more. Okay? I mean, he was so weak and so tired, so thirsty and hungry, he just fell into, on the ground. He was weak. And lo and behold, look what happened. Galatians chapter 4, verse 29. But as then he that was born after the flesh prosecuted him that was born after the Spirit, even so it is now. Yeah, we're going to be prosecuted through the flesh. Okay? But we've already been awakened. We've been called to the truth. So the reward for us is greater through the Spirit. Verse 30, nevertheless, what said the scripture? Cast out the bondwoman and her son. For the son of the bondwoman, of the slave woman, shall not be higher with the son of the free woman. Right? What was his name again? Abraham. Right? Sarah is from the free woman, and Hagar is the bond woman, right? The slave woman, right? So the Edomites who keep insisting in holding us and keeping us in slavery, they're going to have to give up everything that they took, right? The world, the land, the clothes, the money, everything, right? Including themselves. They're going to go into slavery for 1,000 years. Verse 30. Yeah, verse 30. Okay. Did I read that? Verse 30? Give me a minute, Slakia. Verse 31. So then, brethren, we are not children of the bondwoman, but of the free woman. That's right. First Thessalonians. Give me a minute. Chapter 3, verse 3. That no man should be moved by these afflictions, for yourselves know that we are appointed thereunto. Yeah, we are being prepared for the big test. Okay? Because we've been called. And it's a beautiful thing to be called and to be prepared, right? It's like when you're a boxer, you're training, right? Getting in shape for the big fight. Verse 4, for verily, when we were with you, we told you before that we should suffer tribulation. Yeah. We already know. Even as it came to pass, and ye know. Verse 5. For this cause, when I could no longer forbear, I sent to know your faith, lest by some means the temper has tempted you, and our labor been in vain. No. We know, and we know the name now of Yahweh Shin Yahweh Shai, and we're preparing our soul and our spirit through His name to give us the strength when we call Him, when we need it, right? So we can pass the test. So we can endure to the end. Okay? I'm going to go and leave it with Matthew chapter 10. Give me a minute. I can do this. See how. Chapter 10, verse 16. Behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. Be ye therefore wise as serpents, harmless as doves. Woo! Verse 17. But beware of men. I gotta hit this again. For they will deliver you up to the councils, and they will scourge you in their synagogues. Verse 18. And ye shall be brought before governors and kings for my sake, for a testimony against them and the Gentiles. Woo! Right? Because we're going to have 2/3 of our people that are going to be participant with the Edomites in taking us in and being participant with the Edomites. Right? And doing whatever the Edomites tell them to do to us, to their own people, the so-called Negros Latinos, Native Americans, and speckled birds. But the close is getting closer, right? We're just waiting for the second shutdown, and then the rest will be history. I hope that this was edifying, and with that I'll say shalom.